some conversation with Steven and Twan. Questioning the whole universe and history of man. Saturday on Sunday, we're gonna make it through. Stay up, It's a Saturday on Sunday.
And welcome to Saturday on Sunday. I'm your host, Steven.
And I'm your host, Twan.
And I'm your sound guy, Jake.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome and thank you for joining us again on episode 3.
Episode 3. Gaining all that momentum.
Yeah,
Time to go.
it's crazy. We're already on episode 3.
Right. Episode
Like-
2 hasn't even come out yet.
Well, will after you guys see this.
I mean, I'm sure you'll see it before this
Yeah.
episode, but, you know, at this time, it's not.
Hey, things are going a little bit weird, so you might not. You might see this one first and then
Maybe
episode 2. We don't know.
1,
We're messing
3.
things up, but
We'll see how things
we're
go.
getting it going good. I mean,
Right.
it happens.
You
We
know,
got it.
Baby steps. You know about baby steps. You're a dad.
I'm a dad. Definitely a dad.
I'm not a dad.
The other day, being a dad, we were hanging out and we're talking about the podcast.
But was it
Yeah.
the other day?
And yeah, well, it'll be a while ago after this is aired.
Yeah.
But we're standing outside and we're talking about the podcast and we're just like, yo, going over stuff. And my oldest son comes out and says, hey, they need a diaper change. I said, okay, I'll be in there in a second. And then a few minutes later, my daughter just comes outside, just naked as can be from the bottom. She was like, yo, I'm not waiting for this diaper change. And she just took her diaper off, came outside. It's like, what's up? I'm like, oh, God, hold on. I got to go put a diaper on my child. Like,
It's like party time. Is it party time, guys?
yeah, like, you can't do that as an adult. It's frowned upon.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do that, and they're like,
Get off of this little playground.
right, you can't be here. You can't
I
be here
just
right
want
now.
to swing.
Right. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't swing with my Johnson hanging out.
Yeah, definitely
I like
frowned
to
upon.
swing, and I like
But
to
it's awesome.
swing.
Having kids is awesome. It's pretty dope. They're
Yeah.
like little terrorists, but they're all right.
Yeah.
I like them.
I like having just a dog.
Yeah.
Me
It's
too.
a lot easier because, like, you can't put food and water down on the floor and, like,
I mean,
leave your
good.
kids for 15 hours.
Right.
Well,
mean, I
you
wouldn't
can't
leave
really
my
leave
dog
your dog
for
for 15 hours either. But you get the gist. Like,
Right.
the dog, well, at least, like, bare minimum will just, like, shit on the floor and, like, piss. But,
Oh, yeah.
like, he can feed himself and drink his own water because he knows where to get it. Like, you leave your 2-year-old at home and be like, yo, I put food and water down. Like,
Hopefully the dog doesn't eat it before you get to it.
Survival of the fittest.
hey,
Right. I mean, it teaches your kids, like, important skills about how
Survival
to
skills.
survive.
yeah. And how shitty a parent could be.
Oh, for sure.
Because there's parents that do that. Like, you see that in the news all the time. Like,
Right.
parents who literally just, like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, I went on a weekend trip to New York. Okay, I left my 5-year-old at home. Like, what's the big deal?
He can make his own ramen noodles.
Hashtag Casey Anthony, bad parent. What?
Like,
You
I
see
don't
that
know.
article? Like, it was a while ago, but, like, she was talking about trying to have kids again because she's ready now.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
I was like, you're ready now?
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
sorry.
all right, let's throw another kid in the fucking trash bag and throw it in the fucking washer or wherever they found it.
Oh, yeah.
That's like that fucking John Benet Ramsey from like years and years ago.
Yeah.
You're never going to convince me that her parents didn't set that up.
Oh, right.
Like, come
Oh,
on
for
now.
sure.
The dad was like, I don't know where she is. And then when the cops didn't find anything, he's like, hold on, let me go check one specific spot again. Ran to the basement. Was like, yep,
Yeah,
this
right
is where it
there.
happened. Oh, my God, she's still here. Crazy. You guys didn't look here.
Right.
Like, could you
Oh,
imagine, like,
missed that.
you're hoping that they find her and they don't, so you have to try to drop subtle hints of where she's at without
Right.
giving yourself away.
It's like, did you guys really check there?
They were like, they left a ransom note, but they didn't leave a way to get in contact with them, and they've never tried to get in contact with us. They're like,
Oh,
pay us
right.
money somehow.
Right.
Like, come on now.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't don't know. I heard a story about a woman who had like a nonverbal, like autistic kid that she threw in the river.
Oh yeah, and he got out.
Right, and like these people saved him down the river and returned her child
And then she did
just
it
for
again.
her to do it again.
Yeah, she was just
Yeah, I
like,
read that.
thanks. That's, I mean, a lot of things happen like that. Like the whole Jeffrey Dahmer's thing. Like that dude got away and he had already like drilled his brain and shit, and he got away and the cops caught him and he was like, oh, you know, that's my cousin or whatever, or my nephew or whoever he said it was. He's like, he's mentally ill, and they're like, okay, and they like gave him back. Like imagine those cops after finding all those bodies and shit.
Oh, fuck.
They're like, that was not his cousin.
Right, like
My
he got
bad.
us.
You
Man.
got us good, motherfucker. And that was close to us.
Yeah,
That was actually that was Bath Township.
really.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, literally, like he went to Revere High School. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, not far from us. You could still go to the house where his parents lived, where he was raised. You could still go there. They were trying to sell it. I kind of wanted to buy the house.
Right. It's like things like that. You're like, oh, come visit this house where horrible things happen. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm good.
But see, I'm the opposite. Like, I want to go to that shit. Like, everybody's like, yeah, but what if like the Amityville horror house was up for sale again? I was like, I would buy it.
I'd at least visit.
Like, I would buy it and live there and see if I went nuts and killed my whole family. Like,
Yeah, but it's like some of those houses.
Sorry, worth the risk.
I'm like, God damn it was real.
Yeah. It's like some of those houses you're like, I'm just walking into this boring ass house.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Eventually,
special about
you're
it.
like, it's just old and creaky, and they charge me $250,000 more than what it was worth
Right.
because of the
Because of history.
the history. Yeah, whatever. It's
I mean,
it's alright.
I think it'd be cool to stay the night at a place like that. I don't know
Yeah,
if I'd wanna
yeah.
own
I
it.
think that like that's one of the things that we should do
Yeah.
and record. You know,
Right.
let's just go to like not like haunted houses where a guy's putting on a mask and going blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
that's
just
all.
Like
like
let's
those
go to like
ghost hunter
legit
things.
places, like and just go do that for like a Halloween episode.
Right, and try
That'd
to
be
see
cool.
what kind of feedback we can get into our audio.
Yeah,
Like,
see if
oh,
we can
yeah,
get people
that's
to
a
be
ghost.
guests. Like let's see if we can get ghosts to be guests.
Right.
Like that'd be
It's
pretty
like,
cool.
How were you killed?
We got guests that are
I
not
wanna
alive
know.
anymore.
Right. Speak into the microphone.
Like everybody's like, there's a genuine fear, like the Ouija board and stuff. I've never been
yeah.
afraid. It's a fucking piece of cardboard and a
Right.
piece of plastic. It's
It's like, but if you throw those away, they magically appear back in your,
yeah, because
game
when you
drawer.
throw it away, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever's like in
Oh,
on the
who threw
joke,
this away?
puts it back somewhere.
Right.
You know, because that's what I
I've
would
never
do.
actually
Yeah, I'd fuck with
physically
people.
fucked with any Ouija boards or
Yeah,
anything like that.
they're
Me either.
they're literally nothing.
But
Right.
They don't.
Then they have like those horror, like they made a horror movie based around
Yeah.
the Ouija board. I
It was
think
called
that's
Ouija.
It was called Ouija.
I mean, they make some silly
Clever.
ass horror movies now, like
Yeah.
your cell phone's gonna kill you, and it's like everybody knows their cell phone's gonna kill them.
Yeah, because of all the like the radiation
Oh,
or
it's
whatever goes in your
fucking
brain.
5G.
The 5G. God damn it.
It's like, thanks 5G. Now I got COVID-19.
You notice ever since they started putting the 5G towers up, like cell phone service lately has been fucking dick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I
Oh,
literally
I
I don't
My
remember,
house is always.
but regardless, I don't even remember
Yeah.
when the last time I got like over 3 bars was.
Yeah.
In places where I normally have full service, it's like, oh, your internet sucks. You should go buy a 5G phone.
Oh yeah.
Put that
See,
next to your
but
ear hole.
That doesn't matter. My phone supports 5G.
Yeah,
before
but
it
you
all
all
came out.
the studio's also in a dead zone.
That's true.
Like literally, if somebody was murdering us right now and we had to call 911, our best option is to yell loud enough for the police station to hear us.
Pretty much.
So,
Well,
but it's cool.
I like to be
Speaking of the
secluded.
police station hearing us, so the other day, we were chilling out in the garage at my house, having a couple beers, minding our own business. It was my wife and I and 2 friends, and we're just hanging out in the garage, not thinking anything of it,
Yeah.
playing music, drinking beers, doing whatever.
Having
Well, I
good sex.
started to see some flashlights coming down my driveway. Automatically assume, it's the police, and they're coming to tell us to turn the music down. It's midnight at this point, so I'm like, they're going to tell us to turn the music down.
To be expected.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, like, when they get closer, I start hearing, show us your fucking hands, put your fucking hands up now, do it now. Like, well, this is not about the music. because
They really don't like,
Like-
this band.
yeah, like, are you guys not into this stuff? Like, I'll change it. You don't have to be so aggressive.
Oh yeah.
So then they come in and they're bearing like full M4 automatic rifles and pistols out, pointing at us, and they're like, "Show us your fucking hands, get up now," blah blah blah. So I'm standing there with my hands just up. I'm like, "How high do you want them? Like, I can only go so much. Like, what do you want me to do?" So they're like, "Who has the gun?" The gun. Like, and at that point, I was stuck in a position of like, what do I tell them?
Right.
Because I don't know what they want to know right now. They want to know who has the gun. Well, I own guns,
Right. I have a gun.
but like I
Maybe
don't
not
have.
a gun.
I don't know
The
if I have
gun.
the gun.
Yeah, so like, who has the gun? And we're like, yo, nobody has a gun in here. He was like, somebody was shooting guns here.
Yeah.
I said, no, we've been drinking beers here, and that's it.
Right.
So then the cop's like, you guys didn't hear any gunshots go off. And I'm like, no, we've been hearing fireworks. He was like, no, those were gunshots. Like, not here. So they're looking around with flashlights, and he's like, well, I'm going to look around the garage for shell casings.
It's like, okay, we're
I'm
just
like,
chilling, shooting in our garage.
well, I'm like, you might find some. And he looks back at me real quick, and I pick up this little thing that's on the ground that's made out of entirely, like, full thing of shell casings. Like, I take shell casings, and I make things out of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you might find some because I use them to make things.
Right.
Right.
After that, I showed him that, and he was like, all right, we're leaving. And I'm like, that's it? Like, you come here, you put a bunch of guns in all of our faces, start yelling demands and cussing at us, and you won't even have a shot with us before you leave? You dickheads.
Right. It's like we just wanted to sober you guys up.
Yeah, well, but, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're telling me that you heard a gunshot from somewhere and were able to pinpoint the gunshot coming from my house.
Right.
In your garage with
Yeah.
music going on.
I'm like, solid evidence to run up here and just start fucking yelling demands and pointing guns and
yeah.
shit.
It's like these
Like-
guys aren't trick or treaters. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
I was
No
like,
full
oh,
size
shit.
for you.
Right.
All right. The craziest shit. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we all made it out of there. Everything was,
Yeah.
but like still, like
right.
that's how you guys approached it. You couldn't say, hey, guys, no sudden movements. We're not going to put these guns in your face because we don't know
Oh
What's
yeah.
if you
going
guys
on?
are the ones who did anything. But just, hey, why don't you guys just stay still for me for a second and let me talk to you guys?
Right. It's like no,
No.
we're gonna start at 10 and just kind of work our way down.
Yeah,
from
you guys
there.
are guilty until we figure this out.
That's what
Right.
they do. They
Yeah.
start at 10 and
I was like, that's
eventually
not what
get to 9.
de-escalation means.
Right.
De-escalating doesn't mean you start at 10 and then calm yourself down throughout the stop.
Right.
That means you take a situation and you
That's
bring
at
it
a
down a
10
notch
bring
and make
down.
it a good
yeah.
situation. So you could have taken that level 2 situation for loud music and de-escalated it and figured out what was happening.
Right.
Instead, you came in, guns all over the place, just like, yo,
Quality
fuck
training.
all of you guys.
They're listening to music. They're shooting guns.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when I listen to music, especially if I'm drinking in my garage, I'm definitely shooting off a gun.
Yeah,
a
I'm
couple
definitely just out
times.
there shooting guns.
It's like,
I live literally a block and a half away from a hospital. Like,
oh yeah.
I-
So you're shooting cancer patients?
no, I'm
That's
just
horrible.
shooting guns, and it's cool because the thing that they're worried about is I might hit somebody, and I'm like, well, we're 2 blocks away from a hospital.
Right.
Calm down.
Yeah, it's like if
They
I get
were
shot,
already going there.
we
Yeah.
can get there quick.
I can
You
get
guys
them
are-
there.
You guys
on
are
my
like
four-wheeler.
on the ER side of it. Too,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
we're
get
right by there. So like literally, I can throw them on the back of my 4-wheeler. I can get the shot person there in literally
Record
minutes.
time.
Like,
It's like, oh no, you don't have to send an EMS.
Yeah.
We're on it.
we got it. Drive right through there. Wee woo, wee woo. Like,
It's like you just put your music up loud and
Yeah.
people, the cops will stop you and they'll, escort you 2 blocks away.
to jail.
Right. Like, I don't it just gets too crazy. Like, you see situations with police now and just like, why did it get so
Yeah,
crazy
why?
so fucking fast? You're like,
Yeah.
because they're not trained enough.
It's like that 20-week training
Mhm.
doesn't really get you very far.
They're like, you're telling me that I can't learn how to shoot a bad guy in 2 weeks or less? Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I need. That's all I
What?
Nothing, man. You making noises.
need. You noisemaker.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've had the cops come and pound on our door once, and they're like, were you guys just outside breaking windows? I'm like, no, we live here. Why would we be
Yeah.
breaking car windows in our own parking lot?
I'm like, suck on that, Dave from down the street.
Right. It's like,
I hate
well,
you.
well, did you see anybody breaking windows? I'm like, no.
No,
we were
I've been
just out there.
inside.
It's like
Yeah.
we just got in from taking our dog outside, and we were outside for the last, like, 10, 15 minutes. Didn't see anybody or hear anybody breaking any
Yeah.
windows.
And
But thanks for pounding on my door.
They're always like, that. They always ask stupid shit like that. Have you been outside? Like, ever? Like,
Right. It's like
Be
yeah.
specific. Come
Yeah,
on.
I've been outside.
sometimes I have to go outside and take the trash out. My dog poops and pees.
And they're like,
outside.
don't be a smartass before I start shooting.
Oh, yeah. It's like, do you
Yeah.
have a gun? I think you have a gun. It's like,
Well, what are your indications that I have a gun?
Right.
Just because.
I'm
I mean,
scared.
I got a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Does
Right.
that count?
Hey,
Yes, it
if you
does.
say the word
It's legal.
gun, it's over.
Oh,
with.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
like saying bomb in an airplane. You can't say bomb in an airplane.
Yeah, not even if that shit is bomb as fuck, dog.
No, I said bong.
I have a bong in this airplane.
Clearing the throat.
No, the bong's in the trash now.
No, that's not something else.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no.
No.
I was swatting at something.
Oh.
Leave me alone.
I thought you were just doing like a hey.
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going? Yeah.
I keep looking off the side because I'm watching this spider build a web over here.
Hey, leave that spider alone. He does his thing.
Right. He's
As
protecting.
long as it doesn't.
That's Henry, and I told him he could stay.
Well, don't
Oh,
name
that's
him Henry.
Henry. He's
Yeah.
been here for weeks.
He's a good guy.
I don't know. Crazy, crazy times.
Anybody else have like a solidly good weekend this weekend?
No, 'cause
well-
I had to pull down a tree-sized branch.
Oh
and
yeah.
Fucking
A
saw
tree?
that shit
Like-
down.
A
It was
tree-sized branch would just be a tree, right?
Right.
I
I had
mean,
to pull a
it
tree out of this tree.
It was basically a tree out of a tree.
I had like
Fell
a
off the top
little
of the tree.
tree growing in my tree. I had to get that shit out of
I
there.
had to get that shit out of there.
Well,
At least
mean,
it didn't
this-
smash anything.
it was big enough to smash.
Like,
shit.
important.
I'm glad it didn't.
Like I worry about that
Like,
stuff because there's
My
some
back
like
is still sore. Like sawing that shit up.
Yeah, fuck that.
those are called widow makers for a reason. And I'm always nervous walking through like the metro parks and shit that just
That's-
a big branch is gonna fall on me.
We don't know when it fell, but we're glad that we weren't up and like had the door
Yeah.
open. The dogs were running outside. 'Cause
Right.
They run.
Yeah,
all
'cause,
the
like,
time.
it'd be
Where
really,
it
like-
fell, it would have.
Yeah, 'cause the dog's normally like a stick, but if it's a stick big enough to smash them, probably not be too
Oh, yeah.
fond of it.
No.
But hey, you never know. They could.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any exciting weekend stuff, but yesterday we were doing some sweet ass bleach tie dye.
Yeah, you've been
What?
real into that still. You're still like
I mean, you
consistently
know,
going.
it happens.
Yeah,
I haven't
Anytime
done
there's a-
anything artsy
I mean, get
in
on
a
it.
long
get
time.
on it, dude.
Well, Jen was
This is
doing
my
it
art.
yesterday, and everything was tied up with twine, and she was cutting it off with scissors,
Yeah.
and just like sliced a good.
I saw
cut
that
into
post.
her
She
finger.
alright?
Oh, like in her finger, like
Right,
she
like-
cut. I thought you were gonna say like she cut a hole in the shirt, but she cut herself.
She cut herself.
Yeah, that's no good.
So it's like it was like all yesterday afternoon was like, should we go get stitches? Should we?
Was it that deep? It kept
I
bleeding?
mean, it kept bleeding for a little while, and she wrapped it up, and then she fell asleep, and then it was like, okay.
Like you do.
Yeah. I mean, realistically,
Bleeding
like
felt
that.
good.
That's what you do. Control the bleeding, and because right now is a terrible time to go to the hospital, anyways.
Well, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you got to go through so many more processes, and you'll probably be sitting in the waiting room like 8 times as long. Like, everybody knows when you go to the waiting room at a hospital, like, you could have a gunshot wound to the brain, and they'd be like, all right, fill this paperwork out and go sit in the back. Like,
Right. We'll call your name.
As
You
soon
might
as
not
you're
be
ready.
able to hear it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, when my earring got ripped out of my head, I sat there for a good
3 or
40
4
minutes.
days.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm holding a rag soaked with blood against
Oh, right.
the
Yeah.
side of my head. I'm like, I'm bleeding out. And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't care.
You gotta lie about the earring thing and just be like, yeah, somebody stabbed me in my brain, and the
Right.
knife is still in there.
Like, I was just walking to school. I was walking to Garfield, and somebody stabbed me, and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Totally.
Garfield is
I
a high
understand.
school in our neighborhood that was not a very good high school,
Right.
and it's
Metal
not there
detectors.
anymore. It's gone.
It's being
They tore it
rebuilt.
down. Yeah, but it's not going to be Garfield. It's going to be what?
It's,
Garfield, Kenmore Garfield. They
Yeah,
decided to
Kenmore
put
Garfield.
Kenmore first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a rough school to go to.
Right.
It was fun though.
I mean,
Yeah, I had a blast.
I went there for I don't even know why I'm chiming in on how rough the school was, because I went there for all of about 35 days before
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like, you don't belong here, and they expelled me for no
Oh.
reason at all. They just did it.
Yeah. I went
But-
there for all 4 years of high school and seen my fair share of screwdriver stabbings.
Yeah, just like
I
the
had a
weird
couple of
stuff.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're far enough apart where like, oh yeah, screwdriver stabbings. Like no, that shit kept going.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, that
right.
one dude like showed up with a butter knife and like stabbed the dude in the lunchroom with a butter knife or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
you
that.
were still there then?
Yeah, well, I wasn't there. It
He
just
was
kind
the
of hurt.
guy. That's how he got expelled.
I was that guy who did
Oh,
that shit. Yeah, don't mess with me when I'm making PB and J's, motherfucker.
Oh, right. I'll stab you with a blunt knife.
Yeah, I mean that'd probably be the worst though. Like a
Oh,
sharp
right.
knife, it goes in and out. Like you have to
Oh,
put
yeah.
some force behind getting a butter knife in there.
Like, I don't feel like I want to be stabbed by
remember during
anything.
We had the security checks where they bring the dogs in.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I remember them finding a gun in a
Oh.
kid's locker. That
And I know which kid that was.
I do know a kid.
Yeah, me
that
too.
was, because he got picked on all the time.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I'm like, well,
When-
that could have ended real.
When I was in
bad.
middle school, and they had called a bunch of parents of about 8 guys.
Oh, yeah.
My parents being one of them, who said, "Hey, your son Anthony does not have to come into school today." And we didn't know they called other people. They just said,
Oh, yeah.
he does not have to come to school today. Don't send him to school. And we'll be in touch as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So my parents were pissed.
Oh,
Because I was a troublemaker. I got suspended like every fucking...
like, what did
like,
you do
other
this
week.
time?
So, like, they were pissed at me. Like, what did you do? I'm like, literally nothing. I didn't do anything. Like, my plan was to do something today and get out of school, so I haven't done anything yet.
Right.
But I didn't know what it was. Well, like, a few hours after school opened, they had called my parents back,
Yeah.
and they said, hey, you guys can come in. We're going to have a meeting and, you know, whatnot. So they brought me, and they're like, last chance, tell us what you did. I'm like, I didn't do
Oh,
anything. Like, I promise you. So we get into the office, and there's several other parents there. And a few of the kids that, like, I'm friends with. I know all the kids, but a few of them that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
And they sat everybody in this big room at this table, and we're all sitting there, and they're like, okay, we called you guys in here because we had a little bit of a problem. They said we got a little tip, and we searched a kid's locker,
Yeah.
and in this kid's locker, he had a rifle and a note or a letter, a list, if you would.
Yeah.
And it was just a list of names labeled 1 through 10, and everybody sitting in this room, their child was on that list.
Good times.
And I was like,
really efficient numbering all the names. And
yeah, I'm like, dude, this. So, like, I didn't care who else was on the list. I didn't care about any of that. I mean, I cared about what position was I on that list.
Right.
I made the list.
Like, I know I made top 10,
Right.
but, like, where was I on the list?
Oh, yeah.
And so they, like, showed all the parents the list, and they notified all the parents that
Yeah.
the rifle that was brought to school was a pellet gun.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, first of all, if you shoot me with a fucking pellet gun, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like,
Right.
That's not,
Yeah.
you better catch me in my eyeball, like,
Oh,
realistically. But then I found out who it was
Yeah.
based on word of mouth. Like, the parent or the teachers wouldn't tell anybody and,
Right.
like, whatnot. But I found out who it was through, talking.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know that kid.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had any interactions with him. He wasn't even in the same grade as me. Like, I literally have no idea who that was. So I'm like, how did I make top 10? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what?
You were just cool with the people that he wanted.
I think that was it because there were several
Guilty
friends.
by association.
Yeah,
Right.
so he was just like, well, if you're one of their friends, then you are also just like them, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
also deserve to die.
Oh,
And
for
I'm going to
sure.
put 50 or 60 of these pellets right dead center of your ear, and you might
Right.
die.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's nuts, like, to think about that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah. I mean, my protection is a high-powered BB gun, but if I shoot
Hey.
you,
start spraying people in the face, it's going to hurt.
that's gonna. I mean,
But
we were-
also, you have to understand that it might just piss them off.
right. I mean, I was putting holes through
You
cookie sheets
better-
from 20 feet away.
Yeah, but have you seen, like, Crackhead Rage? Like,
Right.
it does not matter.
Yeah.
Aim for the eyes.
right.
Is all I say.
Well, I'm
Aim
just
for the
hoping that
eyes.
I.
No, if he keeps coming, you shoot one time. If he keeps coming at that, you scream in a high-pitched voice and wave your arms and curl up in a ball.
Yeah.
And it'll work. It works
I
every
just
time.
Start vigorously masturbating.
And running back at him.
right. It's like, get
We're
back,
Yeah.
doing
get
this.
back.
We're doing it.
You wear that shirt that says, like,
Like, would you fuck me?
Yeah.
I'd fuck me.
Go Buffalo Bill on him.
yeah, that's it. I wouldn't pursue that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I never have that thing loaded anyway, so.
I told
just
you
got a
about my-
baseball bat.
Don't tell people that.
I told you
I
about
mean,
It's always loaded. It's ready to go.
I always got that thing on.
I told you about the whole setup I have in my house now with like the Alexa and the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have that. So my Alexa controls all the lights in my house.
Yeah.
And it, can play music, and you can set like scenes. So I can set, if I say to Alexa a certain keyword like, Alexa, the kids aren't home. This is one of my true, like, this is actually set up to my Alexa. I say, Alexa, the kids aren't home. It'll turn all the lights in the house red and start playing Grind on Me. Grind on me. It'll start playing that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my actual scenes. It's set up like that right now. I don't ever get to use it because we always have our kids. But one of these days, I'm going to give my wife literally the best 40 seconds
Oh, yeah.
of her life. And 40 seconds is a long
One,
time.
one can hope.
Yeah. But anyways, I was thinking about that, and I was like, dude, it'd be super dope to, like, set your lights to, like, strobe lights, to set
right.
strobe lights up to that, and a fog machine to Alexa.
For sure.
And then you'd say, Alexa, there's an intruder. And it starts going off with strobe lights and smoke machines and starts playing Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, I was going to say, still play Grind on Me?
Yeah. Hey.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're
But,
about
like,
to get wrecked.
could you imagine, like, that starts playing, like, Welcome to the Jungle starts playing?
Oh, right.
And it's just like, do you know where you are, baby? Like, that'd be terrifying. You're like, yep,
Right.
this guy knows what he's doing, and
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
leave now.
Right.
I mean, I would leave just from that song choice.
Yeah, because it's obviously not a good
I
one.
hate-
Yeah.
I hate Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody hates Guns N' Roses. They're not to
They're
be
the
listening
worst.
to.
I feel like I'm so glad that I didn't get into Guns N' Roses. Just hearing some of the songs that they did put out that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
They're racist. fucking
Oh, yeah, for
shitty
sure.
songs.
Like no, like they weren't good.
Right.
Like,
No, never.
and that's why you play that kind of stuff. Like, they get the fuck out of there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
That's how you
it's
break
time to
down.
leave.
also, I like,
Welcome to the jungle.
yeah, like, but see, I don't like a lot of like old bands that like most people like, and most of the kids that are younger who like these bands don't like them because they like their music. They like them because it's old
Something
and
to like.
it's the thing to do
Right.
now. You know, you go get an old band shirt and fucking, you're like, yeah, and you're like,
Right.
name a song, and they're like, don't have to. I love them, bro.
Right.
Like you don't know 'em.
That
Like,
doesn't
I don't-
mean anything.
Like I don't like AC/DC.
Okay.
Like I like a few of their tracks and stuff, but like I'm not an AC/DC fan.
I mean, out
Like-
of most of those kind of bands in that era, ACD is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, they're not bad, and I'm not saying that I hate them, but
Yeah.
like I'm not like I see all these young people like overly obsessed with AC/DC, and
Right,
I'm like,
or Led
okay,
Zeppelin.
or Led Zeppelin. I'm not really a huge Led Zeppelin fan.
Yeah.
See,
Like,
most younger people know Led Zeppelin from their radio plays.
yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah,
And that's different.
yeah. I'm a huge Neil Young fan though.
Neil
Yeah.
Young's awesome.
I love Neil Young.
Yeah.
I have every album Neil Young ever made.
Me and Sarah just the other night were just we're watching bands from the 70s like live performances
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Jethro
Dude,
Tull.
Russ Never
Yeah.
Sleeps.
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
great.
You know when he did the show and he had like the little guys come out with the red eyes and they were all over like the stage and stuff. It was phenomenal.
No, I don't.
Neil Young, Crazy Horse, dude. I wish I could have been part of that.
Yeah.
Like,
That-
now we get like what Tekashi 6ix9ine, who like that's it. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna say that Tekashi 6ix9ine is good music by any standards, but I'll get down on some Tekashi 6ix9ine.
but like I can't stand behind
Anything
him.
of 'em.
I can't.
Yeah.
My brother like loves Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like when he hears me like talk shit, but I just like
are
I
you
can't get
dumb,
behind him.
Stupid or dumb? I'm like, what? That's stupid.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
just can't get behind like him. Like it sucks when you're listening to music and artists and stuff like that, and then you find out like who they actually are and stuff.
Right.
Like, you know, he knew that girl was underage when he fucked with her, and
Oh,
like
like-
said he didn't, and then
Like R.
there's
Kelly. Is that
there's
what you-
text messages and
I
like.
mean, there's a whole
Yeah,
documentary.
there's
on
a-
Kelly now.
right.
Well, there's a whole like I mean, obviously
Yeah.
like I don't get it like celebrities and fucking kids. I don't get it, but like
Oh yeah.
I
but
don't
like
get
that
Anybody fucking
that's the
Right.
kind of thing. I think we I'm not 100%, but I think we touch base on this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not cool. And then when you find out that those people are like that, you're like I just can't stand behind them.
Yeah.
No,
Like sorry.
Right.
I might have said this before, but my whole rule
And he's a
is,
fucking rat.
like, he is a rat, but
Yeah.
my whole rule is don't fuck with kids, don't fuck with animals.
You guys
Yeah, I
see
think we talked
that,
about that the last time. I think we
Yeah.
discussed that. Yeah,
But
it's
Do you guys
that's my
see
whole
the
thing.
documentary series "Don't Fuck with Cats"? It's the whole thing about like
I
this
saw it, I
guy
haven't
that
watched it though.
killed a cat and put it out online.
See,
is that like
me, I couldn't watch that. I'd get too pissed off.
Yeah, but it's like you don't see him killing cats or anything on the video, but like it just leads to this whole worldwide investigation to find where this person is, and he ended
Yeah.
up killing actual people and recording that and putting it out online.
Right.
nice? Yeah, that's like some fucking Criminal Minds shit. Like
Right.
Right.
you ever seen Criminal Minds? Like you ever watched that? Like
Maybe.
might
I only
have seen
binge
it.
watched every episode
Yeah.
before. But it's like you see the shit on there and you're like, man, this stuff is nuts. The stuff they come up with TV,
Oh, right.
like the
No,
killers and the stuff.
That's
And then you
reality.
find out that most of them are based on actual cases that actually happened, and you're like,
Oh,
wait, what? Like,
Right.
that shit's real? But
I mean, you know,
people are sick.
real life's
Yes, they are.
crazier than fiction
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
But then they also have the movies that are like based on real life
Right.
events.
Yeah.
It's like based on a true story, and only like
A
one
small
thing
segment
has
of
to
it.
be like true for it to be based on true events.
Yeah.
Like, Strangers. The
Yeah.
Strangers. Have you ever seen that dude with the burlap bag on his face?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that was based on a true story.
I don't watch those kind
And,
of movies very often.
Like they go into this, they're out in the middle of the woods, and these people knock on the door, and it ends up being this like weird, freaky family wearing like masks and burlap bags and like
Oh, yeah.
all this shit, and they're trying to kill these people in the house,
Right.
and it gets pretty fucking nuts. And like you read into it, and like the based on a true story part was like somebody knocked on the writer's door at 3:00 in the morning while he's in the woods.
A burlap sack.
Yeah, like
He's
you can literally,
I
as
got
long as
these
one thing's
potatoes.
true, then you can write the whole rest of the story. And it's
There
fine.
was a burlap sack, but he had potatoes in it, and he was just offering us potatoes.
And he held it in front of his face, which kind of looked like he was wearing it.
Right. Like
I got real scared.
Yeah.
it's when movies like Big Fish, have you ever seen that?
I started to, like, I didn't watch through it, but
they're like,
It's a good
oh, this is
movie.
based on a true story. It's like,
But it's obviously not.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a bit larger than life.
and then you see like real movies based on true events. I just watched like Just Mercy.
Oh, no. I haven't
Never
seen
heard.
You know, it's a young black male going to school to be a lawyer, and he ends up going to Atlanta he goes to Harvard, he goes to Atlanta to help like people on death row, and he
Okay.
meets, you know, a gentleman in there who's on death row who didn't kill him, and all the evidence is pretty much, the evidence against him is not there.
Yeah.
The evidence proving that he was innocent is there, and, you know, they deny all this stuff, and like he fights for this guy's justice and eventually gets,
Yeah, is that the
Gets 'em
movie
off.
that they put out free?
yeah, it's free now. You can go watch it anyway. You should watch. It's definitely a good movie.
Yeah.
And it like opens up a lot because like at the end of the movie it does the whole showing of the real people and like giving the story behind. And although everything in that whole case was built on lies, everything was paid for and like literally just fucking full lies, the sheriff just retired from that place in 2019 because people kept re-electing him.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, how can you be part of this like huge cover up to like get an innocent person put on death row, not just
Right.
put in prison, which is bad enough, but put on death row for something you didn't do,
Oh, yeah.
proving that you helped alter all this shit.
It's like a popularity
And then-
contest.
Right.
People are like, well, we're still going to vote for him because he keeps our neighborhood safe.
Yeah.
Like,
From the innocent people that they put
From
Yeah.
the innocent people.
and then they found out like
Locked up.
they had like a big lead after that guy got let out, and after years they had like a big lead. Sorry for all the spoilers. I should have said spoiler alert before.
Spoiler alert.
But like after the whole thing and he was let out and all that stuff, they had a like new suspect in mind, but
Yeah.
never pursued anything.
Oh,
Well, of
that's
course
I'm like
not.
solid.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's like, you know,
I
it's
like-
been long enough.
but I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Like it pisses you off and then it makes you really happy and it makes you really sad.
Right.
Like it's a lot going on,
Yeah.
a lot of emotions built into one movie.
Right.
So I liked it.
On the same vein, have either of you guys saw or seen 12 Angry Men, like the old from like the 50s or 60s?
I have not. Nope.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But it's based around like a room full of, you know, all white jurors, all men, and they're deciding on a case of like this person of color, this young guy, and like all the jurors are like, yeah, it's totally guilty, you know, basing it all on, you know, he's a young
Yeah.
black kid.
Right,
But like there's
speculation, basically.
right. But then there's one guy that's like, no, the evidence doesn't add up. And like the movie's pretty much spent like this guy changing the minds of all of these jurors and ones that are resistant,
Right.
and obviously racist and stuff, and changing their minds throughout the movie. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is
it's definitely
really
a good
relevant right now.
right. It's definitely a movie that I recommend everybody sit down and watch. I mean, it's
Yeah.
older and in black and white, but quality,
Yeah. It's.
informative.
I
and
like
informative.
movies that make you like reevaluate things. Yeah. I mean, I just thoroughly enjoy movies that like put you into a whole nother like aspect of thinking and understanding on what actually happened and
Right.
like the things that were legitly going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Things like it's nuts because that movie Just Mercy was based in like from the 80s to the 90s, you know, like
Yeah.
it was in the time period, like, we were alive. I mean, Jake was probably
I wasn't alive.
a little. I mean, I was still a baby, and you were just a young kid.
Right.
When it started in like 82 or something like that, like 80 in the 80s. I don't know. Don't quote me on what time period it happened, but you know.
I mean, it's crazy how things that like classic movies or scenes or speeches that were made decades ago, like, man, that really still rings true.
Yeah,
and
resonates through the years.
Yeah, it shows you how much doesn't change, but changes at the same time.
Yeah, the world's changing around us, but
nothing's
people's
changing.
mindsets,
Right.
are still
too
being
much of like the inherent racist stuff. It's like that was something that never really had a place in our home or anybody that we associated with, because growing up we lived with around
everything.
all races.
My whole philosophy on life right now is, if you're not a dick to me, I will not be a dick to you.
Right.
Hey.
I don't care who you are, what you associate with, what you do, anything.
Oh yeah.
If you're not a dick to me, I will not be a dick to you.
Yeah, you can't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
If someone's being a dick, I'm gonna be a dick back. That's just
right.
That's just me. I am an asshole.
Hey,
for sure.
We all.
Steven knows.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've corrected him on many of things.
Yeah.
Hey.
Grammar. All kind of shit.
Mm.
I'm an asshole. That's just me.
Sometimes I have mush mouth and can't get words out.
And I make fun of them. But.
And now I'm hosting a podcast
where
I talk.
You have to talk all the time, and that's how that goes.
So don't judge me if I stutter over shit.
Hey.
I don't judge you. I have nothing against you.
I don't judge. I just
have nothing against
correct
anybody.
you.
But if you're a dick,
I do believe in you. I just know you're gonna fail.
I was watching that the other night.
That's a good movie too.
That is a good movie.
Quality.
Dewey Cox.
Hey, the Dewey Cox story. Dewey Cox likes to think about his whole life before he goes on stage.
Like you do.
Hey,
I try to think about my life, but I can't really remember big chunks of it.
Yeah. There's those people that like claim that they can remember like things when they were like 2 or 3. I'm like, I don't remember shit from when I was fucking 29.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember yesterday.
People are like, "Oh yeah, I was like 13. I must have been in 7th grade. It was June. It was probably June."
Yeah.
It's like, get the hell out of here.
I don't remember any of that shit.
It's like I graduated in 05. I was what, 19 years old.
I was what, 23, 24?
Right.
Shit.
Oh no.
You remember more than I remember. I don't remember half of yesterday.
I mean, you don't remember how old you were when you graduated high school?
I don't.
I was at least.
I never graduated high school though.
Well, I guess that makes a difference.
So I don't remember what year it was. It's going to be.
Every year.
I'm in the process of trying to get my GED, but
yeah. So then you'll remember.
Then I'll remember. I'll be like, yeah, I was 37.
It's like, I got a little piece of paper, so I'll always remember, and it'll say you were 37.
You are a piece of shit.
It's like,
congratulations, you 37-year-old
right.
motherfucker.
It's gonna say Anthony Amato, 37-year-old graduate.
About time.
I mean,
better late than never.
It's all in due time, You
you
progress at your own speed.
Yeah, I'm trying to chill out, take it slowly.
Right. It took me 10 years to go back to school after graduating high school.
Yeah.
And I regret it all the time. But don't regret it at the same time, I guess.
You gotta experience life.
Right after high school wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. College was not for me.
Yeah, school's not for everybody.
I think if I didn't go to school, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Because
That's what I was gonna say,
I wouldn't have the
after
information.
So long,
whatever.
You just kind of
Right. Yeah, if I didn't go to school, I don't know.
I need to learn
shit.
this. Like,
I did a solid 9th grade.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was 3.5 credits shy of graduating.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And I thought, like, yo, I'm making the best move of my life.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit. Which, realistically, I make decent money, and I
Right.
don't. But, like, I'm not advocating for kids to drop out. Don't do that. Stay in school, get your education, and don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Or you have to.
Right.
They garnish you or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. I never went, but
Yeah.
education is important. But
education's
way
important. But,
that
like,
they make
yeah,
us
the
pay
schooling.
For the education after high school is not good.
Education is important,
Yeah.
but you can get education
right.
from anywhere.
Right.
You
That's-
just have to be willing to learn that. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to
I
sit in
feel
a
like I
school
learned-
for fucking 8
Right.
hours a day to
No,
learn
I feel
most
like I
of the
learned
shit.
more once I quit college and
Yeah.
Being
started living.
just being open-minded, like being
Right.
like willing
You
to
learn more
absorb
that way.
information, like
Yeah.
you'll learn a lot.
Now, saying
But-
that, I retain the information that's fucking stupid.
Hey, you got to be a catalog of useless information.
I
Like
mean,
you need that sometimes.
it's like I only
It's
took
pretty fun.
2 different horticulture classes, I think, or 3. And I
That's it.
remember like little bits. Little bits. But I mean, I think I'm taking a lot more out of visual communication design because it's kind of feeding what I'm doing with editing videos and stuff like that, and actually sort of understanding why certain things work and why certain things don't work.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, even if you think you're trying to learn something else, you're really learning about other things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Playing in a shitty punk band in high school,
Which is the best thing you can do in high school.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
the best thing you can do.
Being in a
high
shitty
school. I'm learning
punk
shit like
band.
this. Like, I didn't train to do audio or recording,
Yeah.
but I figured this shit out because that's what I wanted to do.
Right, right.
That's the biggest thing. You got to figure out what you want to do,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and then that will drive you to learn.
but that's the thing is you got to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, like
You know
I
how hard
wanted
it
to
is to
start a
play.
band, but all my friends only knew how to play guitar. And
But all my friends are dead. Yeah, that's the thing is when you first try to start a band, all your friends want to play the same position. I want to be the lead guitarist and lead singer.
oh yeah,
And that's where I was different. I prefer drums. I don't want to learn the guitar.
I want to play.
That's too much learning.
I want to play the mandolin,
yeah.
and then you have no room in the band. What the fuck?
No room for a mandolin.
You don't want to do a medieval cover of this song?
right.
Idiots. But
I mean, you
that's
gotta
it.
go at your own
But
pace.
you guys gotta be fucking happy. That's the thing is people don't
Yeah.
like just be happy,
That's
which is hard to
most
do
important.
because everybody's sad as fuck.
Yeah, but luckily now that I'm going to therapy and getting medication, I get assistance to help
Hey.
me be happy.
Put that serotonin up.
I mean, I talked to my therapist today via.
Is that what it's
web
called?
chat.
Serotonin? Is that
Yeah,
the happy
that's
stuff?
That's the happy stuff.
That
Yeah,
is the
okay.
happy stuff.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't blurting out some shit. People are like, "What the fuck is that guy
Right.
talking about?"
You got to get your testosterone up.
Get that masculinity.
What, you get serotonin and melatonin, like, well, for guys.
Hey,
Going
melatonin.
to sleep, right?
Melatonin
Kinda.
to go to sleep, yeah.
Melatonin for sure. I know that's a sleep one. I give that to my kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta pop them a little melatonin
I've
gummy.
tried a melatonin
Oh,
supplement.
melatonin don't work for me. I can literally like
I
take a
had
whole
the
bottle. of
weirdest
this.
fucking dreams taking melatonin. I might have took too much, but
You know what helps me sleep? Like helps me sleep like a baby, just like out for the whole night.
Yeah.
Nothing. I wake up periodically through the night and I never sleep. I don't remember the last time I slept a whole night. So
I mean, I just pass out wherever I pass out, and then I wake up the next day.
surprise.
pretty much. I
Most of
mean,
the time, it's on the couch.
Actually, that's not true. Like I've gotten like to the point where I was like so drunk that like I woke up in like a backyard like sleeping.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's just alcohol. Just
Right.
drink a bunch.
I mean, I drink every day.
Yeah.
I don't like to admit that, but I drink every day. But when I had to stop drinking with the antibiotics for pulling my tooth and stuff, I didn't sleep for shit.
Hey.
For a week and a half.
Then
I started drinking again. And hey, I slept great.
I don't have a drinking problem. I have no problem drinking at all.
Right.
I mean, it goes down smooth.
I mean, I just smoke, and it doesn't go down smooth all the time, but, you know, it works.
I mean, Sarah did think you were dying.
I mean, everybody thinks that when I smoke that I'm dying. But
That's everybody
I'm
thinks
all
everybody's
good.
dying, coughing up lungs and stuff.
I mean, we're all dying. It's
Just
a
at a different
pace.
Yeah.
That's been my philosophy.
Right.
For life
Which
for a
sucks
long
because I've
time.
always had a timer that I can visually see that other people can't, that tells me that I'm going to die, and it tells me when, and mine's in 27 days.
Oh, like
I thought
Donnie
you were
Darko
gonna say it
style.
was a
It
timer
just sits.
for
It
me.
just sits out in the open. I could right now. It says 27 days.
Oh. I only see this weird tube coming off of me.
Could you imagine if like that was real life? Everybody's like, "Oh, he's fucking around." 27 days from now, I'm like dead.
Like,
Oh,
damn
shit.
it.
Oh, he's telling
Well,
the
I
truth.
guess we'll never get to those 1,000 subscribers.
Hey, so you got 26 more days.
Tattoo a corpse.
You can if you want to. I've always talked about that too. Like if I were to ever die, and like I'd talk to my wife about it, and I'm like, don't worry about that fancy bullshit. Don't get me some like nice urn or put me in a casket or like you can literally like get me cremated.
Put
and
me
just
in a hefty bag.
Yeah, yeet me into a fucking whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I'm dead. Like I don't
Right.
care.
The
Like,
part of me
I
is what's in you.
I always
That's-
told her
that's
like
all I care
I'm
about.
100% okay with like her having me picked up by, you know, the paramedics or whoever comes and get coroners, whoever it is that
Yeah.
comes picks the dead body up,
Right.
and then it goes to wherever it goes. And you know how like if you don't claim the body, like it just
Yeah.
gets like cremated and hucked in an unmarked grave somewhere.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool with me. And she's like, no, I wouldn't do that, but I don't give a shit. I'm dead.
Right. Like you don't want.
What
shit.
happens with this doesn't matter to me.
You have
Oh, yeah.
no say at that point.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about it. I don't want like all these people are like have these requests to have like this big service and this nice mahogany or whatever the best wood is. I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah.
But like the best, you know, casket with gold inlay and the finest of linens inside. What the fuck? You can literally huck my body into a dumpster and say, "See ya, that was cool," and I'd be okay with it. I don't give a shit. I'm dead now. It's
Oh.
it's
Right.
over with.
It's-
Like now I get to experience
done.
whatever's afterlife, whether it be the complete ordinance of nothing or
Right.
fucking the blissful pearly gates or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Well, with that, like I'm, you know, being a denier of like whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If it's hell, I'll be like, "Oh, fuck. God
Right.
damn it."
Ah,
Like,
shit, it's hot. I should have wore a tank top.
It's like I guess
Yeah.
my biggest fear is whether or not there is an afterlife, because it's like, have I done the right things? It's
Who
not
the fuck knows, though?
right. It's like
Yeah.
everybody
There's
has their
so many
list of what's the right
contradictory
thing.
things.
yeah, what is the right thing? What's not the right thing? Like,
Right.
you know,
I
what
mean,
it is. And if I go to hell,
Pretty
then like
much,
Yeah.
if hell's a real thing, if
Right.
it happens to be this fucking thing where it is internal burning and whatever,
Yeah.
like whatever.
But
it
it's
is
just
what it
like
all
is.
three of us pretty much already fucked up because 90% of religions, no desecrating the body. We all
Right.
fucked
Hey,
up. with
this isn't
tattoos.
desecrating the body. You wouldn't paint your house different colors and call it ruining your house. I'm just putting
No,
art on the
yeah.
But
motherfucking
I'm just
walls,
saying,
bitch.
On religious standpoints, we've all desecrated our bodies with between piercing. I've had piercings. I don't have them in now.
yeah.
I just put windows in my ear holes
We've
and a
all,
door knocker on my front door. That's it.
Well,
Right.
I mean the eyes are the
Hey.
doors of the soul.
Yeah, so I should have pierced my eyeballs. Son of a
No.
bitch.
Like I don't know, piercings are one thing that you know, Jesus had piercings right through his hands. It's all good.
It wasn't through the hands. It was through the wrist. Get
Oh.
it right, you
Oh, sorry.
sacrilegious motherfucker.
Yeah.
His piercings saved my soul.
I mean,
I
it is
had,
what it is.
I had Jesus.
I respect
tattooed on
everybody's
my-
religious beliefs.
right.
Whatever. If you can believe in whatever you want, and I will never tell you that you're wrong
Yeah.
because I don't know. Like, there's those people who are like, Christianity is wrong. It's not real. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I'm just saying that I choose to believe in what I believe in,
Right.
and you believe in whatever you want to believe in.
Oh yeah.
But it's not cool to be a fucking dickhead.
right.
No. it's
Like,
never
regardless
cool
of
to be a
what
dickhead.
religion you're in. Like, I never understood that with religion. Like, there's the whole thou shalt not judge and all that shit.
Right, like,
And
love
then
thy
people are
neighbor.
like, fuck you, faggot, you're going to burn in hell. And I'm like, that's judgment, which is one of those things that you say.
Oh yeah.
So it's okay to judge
Right.
when it's you doing it. But if I make a judgment towards somebody, then
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to hell for it. But as long as you're doing it in the name of Christ and using him, so it's cool. Like, I never understood that.
yeah.
Like,
the
just be
whole
cool.
Westboro Baptist Church
Oh
and
my
all
God,
their
those
shit.
motherfuckers.
Oh.
Those fucking, yeah, fuck those motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
But, like, that's the thing. It's like, just don't be a dick.
Right.
Like, I get it. You don't agree with what these people are doing.
Yeah.
Don't hang around them.
Right. Don't use your religion as a weapon when it's not. That's not the purpose.
Yeah, I mean, just
Like, I don't get
just live your life and be a cool person and whatever.
it. Yeah.
Like I said, I can be cool. I could sit in the room with the most religious person ever, and I would never try to deny what they believe.
Right.
As long as you don't try to come at me, I won't try to come at you, and we could
Yeah.
just peacefully whatever.
Right.
And you can, and that's the thing is they're like, well, we can't, blah, 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 because we don't believe it. You can literally sit in a room with me, who you think's a sinner, who's going to go to hell,
right.
and just not say anything and accept the fact that, hey, that kid's going to go to hell,
Yeah.
and I'm going to just chill.
What
Right,
it
but
comes down
they're-
to is
Yeah.
a solid conversation. You got to
Yeah.
figure out which side's coming where.
But you have to be open for conversations.
Right.
And most
the
ultra-religious
biggest
people aren't
thing.
open to conversation.
Right. Their purpose is to change your mind.
Yeah, to convert me to
they're
what they
thinking.
believe. And that's whatever. It is what it is.
I used to know a girl whose
I'm
best friend.
Assuming we're all for that conversation.
Yeah.
You bring that conversation. We're gonna have
Yeah.
that conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I knew a girl whose best friend was a Mormon, and they would hang out, and their whole, like, hanging out would just be trying to convert one another to their religion.
Hey, I mean, that makes
It's
sense.
like, that sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
You guys are having a blast.
This is so fun.
The Book of Mormon. I've never read it. I've been through it. I read the Bible and stuff like that. Went through it, and I read that stuff, and I try to learn about it. Because, like, I also hate those people who are, like, completely uninformed on anything, and they try to, like, get in on it. Like, those people who try to get in on politics and, like, don't even know. They're like, what are the 3 branches of government? And they're like, fir, pine, and, like, nope, not those kind of branches. They're like, oh, I don't know.
Like, get out of politics.
But, like, just
Trump.
like that. Like, so I tried to learn about some things. I tried to read into religion and
Right.
and understand why they're coming at me like this, like
Oh,
why they're doing this kind of stuff, why they're saying this kind of thing,
Right.
why they're saying, hey, if you paint your nails, you're gay and you're not going to go to heaven. And I'm like,
What does that have
so
to do
you're
with-
telling me that all the gay people are in hell?
Oh, right.
I'm like, have you ever been to a gay bar? It's fucking lit in there, bro.
Oh, right.
I'm not
Hell's
gay
gonna be
personally, but it's about to be
That
lit.
shit is
You're telling me it's fucking, you're telling me that it's the homosexuals and it's the prostitutes and the drug dealers and the. I'm like, well, then that's where I want to go. What the fuck?
Right.
Those seem like the freest
Yeah.
people.
You're telling me it's either the
Ever.
people who tell me to stay off their lawn because their grass is perfectly manicured, or the people I can get cocaine from in a lap dance. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that one.
It's like, I think
Right.
most of my friends are going to be there, so it seems
Yeah.
like a legit time. Let's
Can
go.
we get a group Uber and we can go to hell together?
Gotta-
Like, I don't know.
We got a Groupon for
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in the penthouse hell
Oh,
suite,
Groupon.
so
Right.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it. It is. It sounds very very fun place to go.
Fuck, I've always admitted that I feel like I'm going to hell, so
Right.
fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
I'm gonna be there.
Like you're
but
telling me,
I
you're telling
guarantee
me,
you, I'm gonna know some other motherfuckers.
you're
that are-
telling me that I can have a bunch of fun here, and that's only gonna guarantee me fun in the afterlife.
Right. It's like, oh man.
Well,
I
then
should
I'll do
just
that.
continue to have a blast.
Yeah, whatever. And not to mention, they also say that in the Bible that you have up until the fucking very last minute to repent for everything and be
Right.
forgiven. So
it's just like, I'm just.
so that means I can do all this shit, and I could be fucking terrible. And if it happens to be real at the very last minute, I could go, "Yo, my B," and God's like, "Cool, dog, it's
But-
cool."
But what if a sniper comes at you? You have no time, and it's a.
Oh shit. Well then,
My,
can I say
Done.
Can you say you're sorry to him personally after you
Right.
die? Like,
Yeah,
is
I
that how it
mean,
works?
Nobody said that was against the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, there is,
Hey, yo, I know I just died, but I just wanted to say for real, that's on me.
It's like, I believed in you the whole.
This whole time, I was just faking. I believed the shit out of you, bro.
Right.
And he's like, oh, get in.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching this episode.
Yeah. Thanks for
Saturday
joining
on
us.
Sunday.
It was fucking super fun. Thanks, guys, for watching everything. We appreciate all that shit.
All right.
So
you're the best.
that is it. Well, like always, I'm Twan.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Jake.
Peace.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, and tell your family's friends.
All that.